Hi, my name is India. Welcome back to my channel. My cat is moving. Today is the start of a vlog because I want to document my grad school journey, my grad school experience, and classes start today. I am getting a master's degree in library and information science, and I'm doing it online. And I'm nervous and excited because I love school, and also it's been a hot minute since I've done school. So yeah, that's going to be one of the focuses of this vlog, and probably of most of my little vlogs going forward, because this is going to be part of my life for a good couple years. But I also am working, and I'm also reading, and I'm also doing a bunch of other things. So yes, I don't have too much to share currently about my studies at the moment because, again, I'm just starting. There's a lot that I don't know. There's a lot to get started with. And now I'm just rambling, but let me tell you about today. So today I already had therapy, which was great. And then I have a meeting at one of my jobs, and then I have work at another one of my jobs. And I've just been spending the morning, like doing some tidying up and reading. So let me talk to you about what I'm reading. Today I've mostly been reading The 100 Years' War on Palestine by Rashid Khalidi. This is, as it says, a history of the 100 Years' War on Palestine, talking about settler colonialism and resistance, and the time frame is about 1917 to 2017. And I am this far in. I'm on chapter 3, talking about what was happening in like the late 1960s. So I like to read about half a chapter, a third of a chapter to a chapter of this in the mornings when I get the chance. I'm also reading A History of My Brief Body by Billy Ray Belcourt, which is a collection of essays about queerness, indigeneity, Canada, grief, colonial violence, joy, love, queerness. And I'm really loving this. I'm tabbing it up because this is a copy that I have checked out from one of my jobs. I'm probably going to purchase it if I'm being honest with myself. And yeah, really loving the way that this is written. It says it's for fans of Maggie Nelson and Ocean Vuong and Therese Marie Mailhot. And I love Ocean Vuong and Maggie Nelson, so I'm really, really loving this. I just am reading a lot of things right now. I'm reading Making History by K.J. Parker on my Kindle. I have an advanced reader's copy that I didn't get to before it was published. But this is a fantasy-esque book about this king who calls forth the most prestigious professors at this university and is like, hey, I really want to go to war with this people, and in order for me to be able to validly do that, I want you to create a site, like an archaeological site of a city that we're going to unearth that tells the tale of this people that I want to go to war with as having invaded our land. And he's like, you have to make this work and you have this many days to do it. And it is about what it takes to create a history, to create a false history. It's very interesting. I'm about 30% of the way through and I'm liking it. It's fairly short too, so I'm trying to get through it. And lastly, I am listening to Such Great Heights, a cultural history of indie rock, by, I think, Chris DeVille. That might be the author's name. But this is a cultural history of indie rock, and it's just interesting, and I'm listening to that on my commute. So yeah, that is what I'm reading. My plans for the day, other than work, is to, when I get home from work, to kind of make a to-do list of what I need to get done tomorrow. Tomorrow is really when I'm going to get a bulk of schoolwork done. My Thursday mornings are pretty open, and so that's what I'm going to reserve those for, is schoolwork. And yeah, other than that, I will see you a little later. You're so pretty. Hello, good morning. I've been spending my morning doing some schoolwork and some personal reading, which has been good. You saw me taking some notes on one reading for one of my classes. I feel like this week is really going to be a test of like, when can I really get schoolwork done? So I'm going to try quite a few things to see what works and probably see what doesn't work. My expectation is that these like Thursday mornings are really going to be pretty important for getting schoolwork done, just because I have them, and because I find that giving myself kind of a deadline in the day when I need to stop doing schoolwork is pretty useful too. I have work that I have to go to, so there's that like end time that's useful for me. What else was I going to say? I've been drinking some tea in this mug that I painted, and started making some rice so that I can eat some leftovers. Yeah, ultimately I'm like feeling really excited about being a student again, and being in school again. And I know that I'm probably gonna have some challenges with like doing everything online, because it feels like a little bit, not isolating, but it just feels like it has some additional challenges, or just some different challenges that doing school in person would. So yeah, I'm just trying to be aware of all the things, which maybe is too much to do, really. But yeah, I am going to, oh, okay. I want to talk to you. So I can knit and read at the same time, and I actually find that knitting while I'm reading helps me stay more focused and stay more engaged. I definitely like take pauses to like write stuff down, but I want to show you what I'm making. This is the Lume pullover by Sari Nordland. I'm making it as a Christmas gift, and I'm like quite ahead, but I'm done with the sleeves, which has like a pretty similar color work motif, and I've just been working on the body while I've been doing this, because this isn't a project I can take with me anywhere. It's too big. So it's kind of an at-home project, and at the same time I don't like working on just stockinette while I'm like watching something. When I'm watching something, I want to be working on something that's like requires a little bit more brain power. Sometimes it depends on what I'm watching, but yeah, I think I'm gonna get that done fairly quickly, because I only have, I mean, I don't know how many inches I need to add to the body, but it's like a couple, and then I'll do the ribbing. I have to like be conscientious of not making it too short for this person, because I've done that for this person in the past, of like making a sweater that's a little bit too short and needed to add some length to it. So I don't want to run into that problem. But yeah, I'm gonna eat some lunch and maybe do a little bit more like personal reading before I head to work. I think it's time for an update. I really haven't updated since the start of this vlog. You've seen me do a lot of studying, a lot of reading, and let me update you on all of that. So school-wise, I've been reading a lot about like what is research, what is librarianship, and how do those things come together, and also like how do they exist on their own, that type of stuff. Some of it has been really interesting. Some of it feels like a way to get everyone on the same page, which I feel like is fine. Like, I'm not opposed to being like, oh, I'm already familiar with this topic, but I'm reading it so that I am, like I said, on the same page as everyone else. Anyway, that's schoolwork. Reading wise, I've been doing a pretty good job, I think. Let's start with A History of My Brief Body. Yeah, Eleanor, I finished it. I finished reading this. I really loved it. I did end up purchasing it. I don't know if I mentioned this, but I was liking this so much that I decided to purchase it from work where I had checked it out to read. Eleanor's just gonna be here to help. But yeah, like, as you can tell by just how many sticky notes there are, which is kind of satisfying. What if I go this way? Ooh. I really felt like a lot of this either like just was like really strong, resonated, and was overall great. I think probably potentially one of my favorite books I've read this year, which is good to find. It's good to find new favorites. Making History by KJ Parker, right? Yeah, Making History. Pretty slow going on this one. I've decided that I'm not going to start another book until I finish this one, so I think that'll help put me into gear with this guy. But I definitely was prioritizing A History of My Brief Body and the 100 Years War in Palestine. I have a couple more chapters of this, and I'm taking notes with some sticky notes, and I'm annotating. But yeah, right now I'm in, what's our timeline? 1987 to 1995. So, after the first Intifada? Yeah, after the first Intifada. So, learning things. That's all I have to say. I'm gonna continue with this vlog until the end of this week. I'm probably not gonna do this like every week, because that would be silly for me to do. But I think documenting this first week is just something that I wanted, so I'm gonna continue to do so. I'm going to a theater show tomorrow, which will be fun. I'm pretty excited about that. And I'm really sleepy today, even though I really didn't do that much. I mean, I had work, and I've done schoolwork. So I have been doing things, but I just feel like I haven't done enough to justify how sleepy I am. I did my nails. Very fall burgundy. I think that's all I have to say. Yeah. Good morning. So it is Thursday, which means I don't go into work until, like, I don't have anything until I need to go into work around 1. So Thursdays are big schoolwork days for me, or at least that's like my plan. I have one assignment that I'd like to focus on, which is a research problem and question paper. And what I think I'd like to do while I'm having my tea is read some of the, well, I either want to read some of the examples that my professor provided, or I want to kind of draft up a outline of what I'm thinking, so that once I'm done with my tea, I can go upstairs and like type it up, tippy tappy type it up. I'm saying this, but I know that what I want to do is just read while I'm having my tea, or just knit and watch some YouTube. I really am feeling like not doing my schoolwork, which is like, yes, I have time to do it tomorrow, but I would rather have tomorrow to like edit it and make sure it's all correct before I submit it, because it's due tomorrow evening and I don't have any work tomorrow, so I'd be able to work on it all day essentially. But yeah, so I haven't decided. I think while my tea is steeping, I'm gonna allow myself to knit for a little bit, watch a little bit of a video, so that when I'm ready to start my schoolwork, I have some of the like, I want to do other things out of my system, kind of. So that's my plan. Also, you saw this in the previous clip, I picked up this Stalogy A6 365-day notebook because I decided that I want a like therapy notebook, or like a emotions journal. I haven't had an emotions like diary essentially since I was probably in middle school, and I think it might be beneficial to start up or try to have a practice of writing in this, not necessarily every day, but like most days. Talking about emotions, I did break it in quite a bit so that it would lay more flat, and yeah, I have this like produce rubber band around it because I want to have that. Anyway, I will see you. Mysterious noise coming from the kitchen. I'll see you in a bit. This feels better. I'm gonna pour some tea for myself. You're currently propped up on my laptop, which is, well, should be open to my assignment that is due tonight. But before, I have a draft of it done. I just need to go through and edit it. But before I do that, I want to do a little show and tell. Because today I went and got my COVID and flu vaccines. I really don't like needles that like go into my body and like put stuff in or take stuff out. I can handle like tattoos and I can handle piercings, but things being injected into me or, you know, drawing things out of me, not my fave. So I went to the little neighborhood area that is by the doctor's office that I needed to go to, and I did some little shopping. So first I went to a cafe, which you will have seen. Oh, let's plug this in. So I went to a cafe and I finished the chapter of the 100 Years War on Palestine that I was reading, so that when I next go into work on Sunday, I can start a new chapter. So I did that. I got myself a little matcha, which was very delicious, and a chai spice pound cake. Very yummy. Then I walked around and went into some little stores where I bought some things. So first of all, there was one store in particular that I wanted to go to, and it didn't open until noon, and I was there at like 12, and so I was like, or I was there at 11, so I was like, what am I gonna do? So first of all, I got this ring. My fingers have outgrown most of my rings, and so I've been kind of on the hunt to expand my ring collection so that I can have more than this ring, which looks like that, which I've had for a while and really like. But while I was there, I also got this like very tiny Halloween sticker, and my plan is to cut them out and put them on my journal, not journal, but like my planner spread on Halloween week. So I got that. And then I went to a zero waste store and I got some facial round wipes. I used to have a collection of these, and I have no idea where they went. I had them like years and years and years ago. And yeah, I've been using some non-reusable cotton rounds that a friend of mine was like moving and getting rid of, and so once those run out, I will go on to these. And then I also got a little laundry bag for those to go in, so this will, because my concern has been washing them when they are ready to be washed, so I will just hang this on my like bathroom door. Used ones will go in there. You get the drift. So those. Then I walked around for a little bit, and do I not have? I walked around for a little bit until that store that I wanted to go to opened, and I went in there and I got some things. First of all, I got 2 packets of like candy. One of them was a wild strawberry, like sour wild strawberry, which is pretty good. I'm liking it so far. Little gummies. And then I also got some sour watermelon mochi candy snacks, which was also really good. Then this I saw at another place and almost got. This is the Pocket Guide to Tarot Card Archetypes When You Don't Want to Carry Around a Library by Abby Clark, which is published by Microcosm, which is a local Portland like zine pamphlet chapbook publishing company. So yeah, I want to get, here's the thing, I want to get into everything, but I have a tarot card deck that I like, and I would like to be able to use not only the booklet that came with that, but this as well, to do some tarot readings. I grew up with tarot cards, those were kind of a norm in my household growing up, and so it's not like a super new thing to me, but it is something that I don't know the basics. I know the basics, but I don't know the basics. Then I've been slowly picking up little things for people's birthdays. And I have a friend who likes Peanuts and Snoopy, so I got this. I love root beer. I just thought it was really cute. And for that same friend, I got another little pin that says cool cat. So that's the shopping that I got done after I got my vaccines. A little treat, because I had to do something. And then I want to show you what I'm knitting. So let's start with I'm wearing something that I've knit, but this is like the first thing, one of the first things that I've knit. This is a cardigan. Well, these pockets, what's in here? Some trash. Fun. I'm knitting another cardigan. This is a purple one. I'm running out of the yarn. So I was working on the body. Now I'm working on the sleeve. I'm done with the decreases of the sleeve. So now I'm just knitting. I save this for when I'm doing readings or watching lectures for school, because my brain doesn't need to focus on this. Then turns out I did need my bag. I have my Out and About knitting, which is this DRK Everyday sock in this marled blue and gray yarn. Looks like this. And I am just carrying this with me when I'm out places. It's a little bit harder for me to work on this while I'm reading because it is 2x2 rib and pretty tiny needles, and I feel like that is a good thing for me to have while I'm socializing, but not when I am having to look pretty consistently at something else. So that's that. What do I want to do with this? Too many things. That is an understatement. The last thing I want to share, I'll show the finished one. I'm working on these socks by Charlotte Stone of Stone Knits. These are the vitamin C socks. They're so cute. They've got oranges on them, as you can see. And I am almost done with working on the big oranges on this one. And this is my watching YouTube knitting project. Yeah. Now that I have done my show and tell, I think I'm gonna finish my schoolwork. let's check in real quick. It is Saturday the 4th, and I have started doing my readings for this next week, this next module. I'm gonna try as best as I can to stay ahead by a couple days, just because that's what fits best with my schedule of like when I have time to really like sit down and get some work done. I did my nails. Hecate is crying because she wants outside, but we are not taking her outside right now. I have some swatches that I've made. First I have this pink swatch, and then I have this green to yellow swatch, which is really pretty. That one's still drying a bit. This one's mostly like pretty dry. I, as I have mentioned, am knitting while I'm doing grad school work. Stuff like lectures, stuff like readings, things that I don't need my hands for, but that I do need to pay attention to. So I've been working on my Bonnie cardigan, and I'm just about at the point where I'm gonna run out of yarn and need to wait until more yarn arrives. And so I've decided I'm gonna make some more sweater vests. I have this green sweater vest that I really love that I made a couple years ago, and so I'm gonna just use that same pattern for both of them. It's a V-neck classic sweater vest. So I'm gonna have a pink one and a greeny yellow orange one. This is the greeny yellow orange yarn. I got this either at a thrift store or like a friend was getting rid of it, and I was like, yes, please. And I think I'm gonna have enough to do the same size that I made. And then I have some pink yarn in various stages of yarn. Where's the other one? Oh, I guess the balls that I worked from to make the swatches are all downstairs, and I don't want to go get them. But anyway, I have these different pink yarns. I don't think these are the same yarn, but what I'm going to do is helical knitting so that I'm getting kind of a more cohesive pink. And for that one, I think I want to do a little bit of an oversized vest. I saw an oversized pink vest at like Marshall's the other day, and I was like, that's really cool. No, at a different store that I was going into. And I was like, that's really neat. So I think like a little oversized, kind of cropped vest that's pink would be really cool, especially while I've got my pink hair. I loved wearing my green vest while I had my green hair. That was super fun. But yes, what else do I have to update you on? I'm making some good headway through Such Great Heights, which is the cultural history of indie rock book that I'm reading right now. I'm listening to that on my commute, trying to get that done fairly quickly. Also really trying to get Making History by KJ Parker done quickly, but I haven't made much progress. So who knows? Who knows? Anyway, I'll check in with you when I have more to check in about. Oh, I guess like content of what my current modules are on, if that's interesting. Is that interesting to me to talk about and reflect on? Maybe. Right now I'm reading a lot about AI and algorithms and search engines, both in terms of library and other information science sectors of work. And then I'm also continuing to learn about research, and I'm going to start soon being in a research group and developing kind of like our research question and whatnot. So I'm a little nervous about that, but ultimately feeling kind of still excited, still riding the like beginning high of things. close out this video because it's been about 2 weeks since I started it, I believe. It's at least been 2 weeks since my master's program started, so that feels like a good time to just, finish it all up. What is happening? So let's talk first about the books that I finished, because I finished reading 3 books in the past couple days. I finished reading Making History by K.J. Parker, which was fine. It took me way longer to read than it should have. For a 150-page book, it took me like a couple weeks. I didn't love it, but I also thought it was very interesting. I also finished reading The 100 Years' War on Palestine by Rashid Khalidi. This was really good. I enjoyed it. I feel like I don't have much to say about this book. I definitely am interested in what the author, or how this book would be different if it was published like this year instead of spanning 1917 to 2017, just because we've seen so much increased media awareness about the Palestinian movement, I guess, with the past 2 years genocide, essentially, or I don't want to say the war, because again, this has been going on for so long, like this 100 Years War on Palestine, but this increased, the increased attacks on Palestine, on Gaza, over the past 2 years. So I think that would have been an interesting thing to have seen the author's perspective on, but this book was published in 2020, so yeah. And then I finished reading Such Great Heights, which is a cultural history of indie rock by Chris DeVille, which I really loved. I listened to this on my commute, and it felt very warming and comforting, because this is the music that I listened to as a teenager and really defined my musical taste. So talking about the Postal Service and Death Cab for Cutie and bands that I was aware of but maybe not listening to as much, so Vampire Weekend and Arcade Fire, and then what indie music looks like now, so talking about Boy Genius and Mitski. So those are the personal books that I ended up reading. I am on this next module looking at starting research, looking at AI and algorithms in my course. I'm feeling, I think I said this in the past clip, or the most recent clip, but I'm still feeling that beginning rush, though I'm definitely starting to slow down a little bit, starting to be okay, what does my schoolwork schedule look like? What does my life schedule allow for? So I think that's interesting. Thank you so much for watching. I do plan on making another one of these videos, though maybe not super soon. And yeah, if you stayed all the way to the end, thank you so much. And I hope you have a good rest of your day. I'll see you when I see you.